This game has an intro, but I won't spoil it. Jumping straight into this gameplay, a cool detail is you can see the background change when you change the spawn locations. I think that has a cool transition to it, it's pretty smooth. Now let's go ahead and spawn into the outlaw camp to begin the start of this story of Beware Zombies. Will this game be another trash game, or will it be a hidden gem of a game? Let's find out by continuing the story, where zombies roam and danger lurks around every corner. Will I be able to survive alone, die to the danger, or find out this is a trash game by bugging the game out? We will begin. As I start, I notice just outside the gates of the camp are bodies laid out defeated, and I'm left to wonder if the same fate lies in wait for me, or will boredom be the true mistress of defeat? Before the thoughts overwhelm me, I set off by running outside the camp. Within seconds, I see another horde of zombies chasing another survivor, and without thinking twice, I sprint over in that direction to try and help by luring and killing a few zombies. And in that moment, the notification warns me that I have entered the lawless zone, meaning PvP is enabled. I think I might be okay if I just focus on these few zombies in front of me. Might even find something useful. So I keep chasing the zombies down and attacking them, and I even find some scrap after I defeated a couple. With some distance between me and the zombies, I start testing out the controls to figure out what I can do. In that next moment, I look back at that survivor that was alive and being chased, and now it appears he's running towards me, and just moments ago, he was surrounded by zombies. I had a bad feeling about this, so I quickly turned around to keep my distance. And by trusting my instincts and running into the tree line, bullets start flying by near me, nearly hitting me, and ending my journey that only started minutes ago. So I do the only logical thing, and that is running straight back to the camp. And as I get close to the camp, I notice it's saying, "Exiting lawless zone, PvP is disabled," relieving the burden on my shoulders. So I stop to regain my composure and look back to see if the other survivor was still in pursuit. And within a few seconds of looking around, I noticed he started moving away. So with determination, I sprint back through the forest with an objective in mind, to get my gun back. And that objective is in a city nearby. So I go to take out a few zombies along the way, and I make the mistake, and I don't notice a couple sneak up on me, and they quickly bring my health down to halfway, and in a panic I run straight back to the camp for safety, and looking for a way to heal up from that close encounter. By searching my inventory, I find nothing, and that the cost of bandages is 500, and it's crazy. And then I find out that there's hidden loot crates in this game, which sadly only contain skins, and I have no care for such things. So I'm leaving the camp with my morale low and my health just as low. But my plan is secure. Make it to the city safe zone. So as I re-enter the city, I keep moving without looking back and avoiding any zombies that I see. And since things keep loading in, without missing a beat, a building spawns in front of me, and as I get closer to the safe zone, running into it, and going around, I see that zombies have been defeated and are laying around, so I quickly rush into the gate's entrance, and keep on heading over to get my gun back. After finishing the task that's at hand, I increase my odds of survival, and unfortunately this is where we find out that our infection is getting worse, so we need to head out and look for a doctor. I quickly check out the pistol that I received, and then am quickly introduced to the sergeant, who introduces me to the next part of this story. I enjoyed the cinematic masterpiece of this introduction, so I wanted to test it out, this wave survival, and put my skills to the test. As I load in, I quickly notice multiple survivors, giving me a classic zombies feel. I notice I have a flashlight and a pistol, but I have no idea how to use my pistol. So instead, I run around being a human torch for the other survivors, and I discover that the next location is locked. so I pray that the other survivors are able to open that door, since I have no idea what I'm doing. But that won't stop me from being a supportive character and helping spot the zombies, repair windows, and even revive other survivors. Slowly gaining points and confidence, I finally figure out how to select my pistol manually, and it works. It may have taken me a few minutes and a few waves of zombies, but I figured it out. So, equipping my pistol, and now in my true fun of the game, I take down zombies and begin to rack up my points faster than ever before. With the pace of the survivors are going, the next area is already unlocked, revealing that there's abilities and also an ammo resupply box, costing points to acquire them. I begin taking down zombies right and left to gain an influx of points so I can go on a spending spree. And after a quick killing spree, I also obtain the points needed to try and gain some upgrades. But I find out that the jankiness of this game reveals itself, and there's not much I can do, so I give up on the weapon upgrade. And I go to purchase a soda, I appear, a perk maybe, perhaps, something will work. But before then, the zombies run towards me while chasing another survivor. So I defend myself, but also forgetting to mention that every reload has to be manually done. There is no auto reload when you're out of ammo. So when I clear out the zombies, I go ahead and find another power up. And in this tunnel, there's another area that has to be unlocked. And I feel like there's a machine that may help us that deals tarot cards. So I'm feeling like this could have potential, even if it's a janky mess so far. With the next area unlocked, I take zombies down, building my points up on another spending spree. Not long after entering Wave 8, I notice the other survivors are going down, left and right, back to back, so I traverse the map to see if I can help them out. So I follow some zombies that seem to be chasing a survivor, and I'm greeted with the horde of zombies and survivors being downed, and without even thinking, I go right into the revive to help someone, but that is a mistake I make, and a horde of zombies swarm me and down me in seconds, showing me how dangerous they are when grouped together in a horde. In all the confusion when I was watching them run around, I got revived, but that survivor risked his life and was downed immediately. I shall remember this, I declared, quickly heading to the ammunition box to restore my ammunition, and head right back into the action, taking out the horde of zombies to then save the survivor who risked it all. While managing to get the next magazine into my pistol, I look back only to see the horror of plenty of zombies chasing me, and the notification saying the survivor has been killed. While I was distracted, I got surrounded, and putting one foot in front of the other, I ran and turned and shot and ran and turned and shot, keeping my distance. Like a true zombie survivor, I took them down one at a time while keeping my distance. Making a few laps around the tunnel, I began to notice more and more zombies spawning in, and I had a chilling feeling that I was the last survivor left alive, and that all the eyes were on me, watching my every move. Like how the zombies kept persisting, I too persevered through and would not give up. Just like how I was dropping the zombies, the magazines of my ammo dropped to empty, and as my last shot was shot, I started to dash towards the ammo box and quickly reloaded my pistol to finish the horde of zombies off. With the last zombie felled in the tunnel, I checked to make sure the area was clear and went to buy the tarot cards, hoping for a turnaround, and quickly found out that this too is janky and broken, just like how this is a trash game. So I headed into the next room to buy the power-ups and noticed it's even more of a janky mess, and nothing is working. So I'm stuck with the basics, and I have to rinse and repeat, which is pretty boring to me. So I was losing the will and morale to keep playing. But weirdly, no zombies were spawning in and the wave seemed stuck. So I went to the spawn area and noticed zombies glitched out on some glitched survivors and took them down. Luckily, The survivors respawned, but a few were downed upon respawning. I still went back also to try and get some more upgrades to see if it was worth playing any longer, but no, it glitched out as well, and I kinda just let myself get downed and noticed how they also want you to spend Robux to respawn, which is kind of a scam and scummy. So as I expected, as I spectated the other survivors, I noticed there wasn't a way to leave or back out. And this is where I finally left this janky game after 40 minutes of playing. While I put this game down, I wouldn't recommend it, since it's basically just a janky mess that's not finished. And I load up this next game that's literally called Trash Game. You might not expect much from the title, but don't let it fool you. As I load the game up, upon loading in, you'll notice I've already played this game a bit, and honestly, I'm still a beginner, but this is one of those extraction games, but with a unique twist being that the players are robots. Now in an extraction game, we have a hideout and other locations, but also there's an event going on, giving out special missions. But before we have all that to get into, let's just head into the areas here that they have, which would be the recycling center, the shop, and there's also the hideout and the deploy area. And as you can see on the sideline here, there's a pedestal with robots for sale. You can pay Robux, or you could also pay in-game currency, which is fair on both sides for the free-to-play players and the whales that want to just throw money at anything they see. There's also a decent inventory system, and the best part is the funny, unique style everything has, making this one of the less serious games, so you can just sit back, relax, have fun, and also, if you want, you could lock in, focus, and grind. There's also some PvP action with some PvE bosses, and with these missions that you can gain rewards and acquire reputation. Oh, and to accept better missions, you would have to acquire reputation, and with missions that have 0 rep, they have garbage rewards. And honestly, I feel like this method is great for people that want to play and grind, but also they do give decent rewards for the lower tier missions for those that go and play casually. So you definitely can go ahead and get into this whenever you want. Now that is explained, let's head into the deploy location, where you can load up with your friends, or even randoms, or just lock your squad and go solo. And that's just how that deploy area works. Before we get into this, we have the hideout location to talk about next. So, this is my first tip that I did when I first played. I hoarded everything in my inventory, and I died and lost it all because I didn't know what I was doing, until I figured out the hideout is where you can clean up and put items to craft and also make storages, so when you leave the game you don't have to worry about losing anything, and you can keep crafting to make items while you're gone from the game. The first things I'd say you'd want to build are storage, and also go into like a crafting bench. As you can see, they'll hold items for you, and you'll be able to organize or just throw things in randomly. It's up to you, who cares. And then work on getting a workbench, because this is going to help you progress the game and do better. The building is cool since you can design your own hideout. There's still things I'm still learning, but even the camera, look, I have no idea what's going on or how it's fixing itself. But hey, this is just the peak atmosphere of this peak game. So while my items craft that I have going on here, I'm going to go ahead and deploy, and let's get straight into the fun. You'll load into one of these spawns, and you'll notice at the top you have a PvP protection. You can use this to quickly loot a building and then leave before players can do any damage and hurt you, making you lose all the items you have. So as I was looting, the boss of the building showed up right behind me and caught me off guard, immediately throwing me into a panic because I thought I was gonna die right away. Luckily, he wasn't aggroed onto me until I shot him in the back of the head, And while he was pushing towards me, I barely do any damage. My health starts to plummet down to halfway. And without his guard up to do more damage to him, I can barely do anything. So I'm trying to figure this out before my PvP immunity is gone, so I can finish looting this building without a fear of another player taking my gear, which is called gear fear. So I lock in on the fight to bring the boss down, but I notice my health is just dropping faster. I know if I keep this fight up, I'll die, so I retreat back outside, and I go to heal and regain my composure. As expected, the boss does too much damage, and I did not expect that. As you don't use your energy, you can heal. And also on the side of my screen, this is a tagged crafting item, which helps you when you're looting to see if you've gotten any of the items you needed. So as I go back inside to fight, I nearly die once again, and I run back out to heal and check my surroundings of any hostile players as the PvP immunity runs out, and my health starts to regain before one more attempt at clearing out this boss in this building to claim all the loot for myself. After a close battle, I managed to take the boss down to a quarter of his health left, and I immediately... So that last... Wait, what? After a close battle with the boss, leaving me at a quarter of my health left, I managed to then loot all the valuables before double checking and heading back out. Now you'll notice there is a timer for the extraction, and when I'm looking around, I'm looking for the green beam of light showing where my extracts are. The closest one is near this construction place, which I go to grab anything useful, and I notice that this extraction is in the sewers, and this is basically a maze. So my next extraction I look around for is luckily across the map, and I have a double jump pack with my hovercraft fans, clutch, so I can just jump over these buildings with ease, and to also then, fall, crack, and fracture my frame from the fall. I choose to go straight to the hideout from the extraction so I can quickly claim the items I've crafted and deposited all my resources before I call it a day, since this is a trash game and is actually a hidden gem of a game. I would recommend it to play solo or with friends. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like, because if you don't, that robot will die.